Well, welcome back to Paul's Messy Bench Models. Well, I thought I'd give an update on the 1941 Plymouth for the all MOPAR group build. Well, the kinetic animation formula that I used in the last video to get the kits to be able to race each other, it's had an unintended side effect. Looks like I'm 1/72nd scale now. Well, just kidding. The kit actually comes with a kit of the box as a bonus. So you can cut out the paper and make a model of the box that the kit came in. That's worth the price of the kit right there. That's awesome. This is a vintage kit. There's lots of flash on everything, and really none of the fits are what you would call precise. The passenger cabin tub, it's mostly one piece with raised detail for the armrest and handles. Fit of the firewall in the engine compartment is pretty rough. There's a steel rod that goes all the way across for your front axle, and that would be actually passing behind the A-arm, so it would be pretty visible when you turn the car over. I decided not to use the front springs that came with the kit. It was actually easier to make new springs out of stretched sprue than try to clean up the ones that came in the kit. On one side, the grooves don't even line up with each other. You get two different engines. I'm using the stock 6-cylinder flathead. You also get some custom parts. You can build either stock or custom. The motor is pretty simple. It's got a cast texture to it. I don't know how well you can see it in the video. And also the oil filler pipe and the starter motor are molded with the side of the engine, so they have straight sides, so the part will pop out of the mold. So what I've done is I've kind of carved relief under there so that after it's done I can put on a wash, and the wash will get into the areas I've carved and give the optical illusion that those things are cylinders. So where I cleaned up the seam lines along my motor and transmission here, you can see I've lost the cast texture that AMT molded in. And on the straight parts, where it had to pop out of the mold, there never was any texture to begin with. But I learned a trick from armor modelers for restoring that. Get yourself a little bit of liquid cement, spread it on a small area, take somebody else's toothbrush and stipple it into the surface, and you'll get a nice cast iron texture. Don't slather the glue over a wide area. Just do a little bit at a time. You don't want it to soak into the joint and cause that to start shrinking again, because then you'll just have to clean up the seam again, and then your cast texture will be gone. The tires are pretty nice. You get the new AMT Firestone white walls if you're doing stock, and some very nice Goodyear Eagles if you're doing custom, which I assume probably didn't come in the first issue of the kit. A lot of the detail is simplified. I think on the real car these the X-brace had lightning holes in the sides, and the differential and rear axle is all one piece. It's actually hollow on top, but that won't be visible once you get everything together. It's also a little bit short to span the gap between the springs without bowing the springs inward. So you have to fill in some gaps there. I am finding a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed, or stuff that's missing. So I guess I'm having fun. So there's no steering column provided, and no steering box to connect to the tie rods. And with an inline motor, it's going to be pretty obvious that it's missing. So I think I'll scratch build something for that. Also in test fitting stuff, I noticed the dashboard is too narrow. If you try to test fit it into the tub, it just falls right in. It doesn't engage the notches there. I tried adding strips of plastic, and the fit is still kind of vague. I think what I'm going to do is glue the dashboard to the inside of the body and get it in that way. Well, the body is nicely molded. Everything is straight and true on the body, but this grill surround is a separate piece, and the fit of that is not stellar. Got the hood taped in place, and it fits well on one side. On the other, there's a big gap, and if you look nose on, there's a little bit of twist to the hood. As I painted the body where the hood would go with micro mask, so the super glue won't stick to the body, and I've gone around the edges. These marks in the hood, I tried cutting the hood to see if I could reverse the twist, but it wasn't working. It was starting to bow up at the front, so I gave up on that, and I'm just trying to fill the gaps now. Here's my progress on the body. In theory, the super glue will stick to the hood, and when I soak it in water, the micro mask will dissolve and detach from the body, and wherever you see the black super glue will become part of the hood and close up the gaps. So I'll go find a container big enough to soak this in, and then I'll be able to pop the hood off and see how it fits. Ah, that'll work.